Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. Namaskar, welcome to PT Pointers, and in this video, we are going to cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And our first headline is related to Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and ये न्यूज में इसलिए है क्योंकि रिसेंटली गवर्नमेंट एक्सटेंडेड द बैन अंडर द अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट अगेंस्ट 8 mighty extremist organizations for advocating succession of Manipur from India through armed struggle. अगर हम अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट की बात करें तो अंडर द एक्ट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट may designate an organization as terrorist organization if it commits or participates in acts of terrorism, prepares for terrorism, promotes terrorism, and involved in terrorism. And do you know, friends, government amended the act in 2019 to include provisions of designating an individual as terrorist. इससे पहले सिर्फ organizations को designate किया जा सकता था as terrorist organization. Recently, government asked the states to use tracking devices on prison inmates released on parole, and this suggestion is a part of Model Prisons and Correctional Services Act 2023, जिसको सर्कुलेट किया गया था ऑल स्टेट्स को इन मई 2023. इसको प्रिपेयर किया गया था मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स के द्वारा, एंड ये रिप्लेस करेगा ब्रिटिश एरा लॉ टू ओवरहॉल द प्रिजन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दैट विल फोकस ऑन रिफॉर्मेशन एंड रिहैबिलिटेशन ऑफ इनमेट्स. एंड डू यू नो फ्रेंड्स, prison in India is a state subject. Our next headline is related to Sea Guardian 3, जो कि bilateral naval exercise है, and it is being conducted between China and Pakistan in the Arabian Sea. And ये schedule है 11 नवंबर से 17 नवंबर तक. And this exercise comes after 2+2 ministerial dialogue between India and the US, where maritime security in the Indo-Pacific was in focus, and India announced its decision to become a full member of the Bahrain-based US-led multilateral grouping Combined Maritime Forces, जिसका member पाकिस्तान भी है. Our next headline is related to Government e-Marketplace Portal, जो कि एक ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म है for public procurement in India, and इसको लॉन्च किया गया था 2016 में by Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and it was aimed to create an inclusive, efficient and transparent platform for the buyers and sellers to carry out procurement activities in a fair and competitive manner. Now, it has been noticed that armed forces are looking at possible employment opportunities for transgenders, and Transgender Persons Act 2019 is being observed, and joint study group was constituted by the Principal Personnel Officers Committee. It is headed by a senior officer in the Directorate General of Armed Forces Medical Services. It comprises top officers of the three services. And अगर हम Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019 की बात करें तो इसको लाया गया था 2020 में to protect the rights of transgenders and prevent their marginalization and discrimination in healthcare, education, employment, public services and benefits among others. And do you know, friends, at present, armed forces don't recruit transgenders or people identifying as homosexuals. Our next headline is related to Armed Forces Tribunal, जिसको inaugurate किया गया था President of India के द्वारा in 2009, and it was established to ensure speedy and inexpensive justice to ex-servicemen, their families, war widows, besides serving personnel of the armed forces. इसकी प्रिंसिपल बेंच न्यू दिल्ली में है, एंड इसके जुडिशियल मेंबर्स हैं रिटायर्ड हाई कोर्ट जजेस, एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव मेंबर्स हैं retired members of the armed forces who have held a rank of major general or equivalent or above for a period of 3 years or more. Judge Advocate General who have held appointment for at least 1 year are also entitled to be appointed as administrative member. Prime Minister of India will launch 24,000 crore scheme which is aimed at holistic development of particularly vulnerable tribal groups on the occasion of Janjatiya Gaurav Divas in Jharkhand. It will focus on the delivery of 11 interventions under 9 ministries for 75 PVGTs. इसको अनाउंस पहली बार किया गया था 2023-24 की बजट में. एंड डू यू नो फ्रेंड्स, PVGTs are more vulnerable groups among tribal communities and they usually have distinctive culture, live in geographical isolation, and are shy of contact with other communities. Recently, a prisoner in Jammu and Kashmir was released on bail after he was tagged with a global positioning system tracking device to monitor his movements, and this is the first time in the country that a GPS tracker has been put to such use. अगर हम GPS tracker की बात करें तो it is a small wearable device like the GPS collars that have long been used to monitor the movements of animals. ये provide करती है exact location of the wearer at all times and allow law enforcement and security agencies to monitor his or her movement in real time. Now, recently, India and Asian Development Bank signed $400 million policy-based loan agreement to create high-quality urban infrastructure, improve service delivery, and promote efficient governance systems. Our next headline is related to INS Sumedha, which is recently deployed at Namibia. INS Sumedha is the third of the indigenously developed naval offshore patrol vessel of Saryu class, and it has been deployed for multiple roles independently and in support of fleet operations. Our next headline is related to red sanders, which is a high market value tree and it is endemic to few districts in Andhra Pradesh. It is listed as Appendix 2 under sites since 1994 and it has been subjected to threats of illegal harvesting and smuggling leading to their depletion from natural forest. And do you know friends, IUCN Red List classifies red sanders as endangered. Our next headline is related to AAINA dashboard, जिसको लाइव किया गया है Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs के द्वारा, and it is aimed to help cities to see how they are faring vis-a-vis other cities, inspire them by pointing to possibilities and areas of improvement, and providing opportunity to learn and engage with front runners. So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.